So, enough of the introductions. Let's talk about the real stuff. The Bachelorette is coming back to American households. This season will be technically one Bachelorette, which will be Claire Crawley, and apparently there's some new stuff going on. So, Mary, let's talk about this since you and I watch it the most. Mm-hmm. Sam can jump in if he wants to, but he doesn't want to.
Oh, I'll jump in.
All right. So, first, let's just kind of say, why did you start watching The Bachelorette?
So I originally started watching it my freshman year of college, and I think it was because the girls on my floor watched it, and I would never really was into reality TV. And then they started watching it, and it almost became, and the reason why I continue to watch it is it's just a great opportunity to bond with other humans of what's going on and talk about the drama and if you find a mutual person that you hate on the show, I feel like it really bonds you, and it's just a good conversation starter.
Right, and I started watching it because of you, because I remember when we were in the same dorm. I'd walk by to their dorm rooms. It was open doors, so everyone always had their doors open, and you guys were watching them. What you guys doing? So watching The Bachelorette.
And it was 15 girls just packed in this tiny space,
it was
in front of this tiny TV.
It was a Super Bowl watch party.
It was.
That's the best way to describe
Every Monday, yeah.
And I was hooked because my friends were watching it, but I stayed because of the drama. It was so over the top, and I know, let's be honest, I know it's fake. Newsflash, it's fake if you didn't know that. But it was just, they kept you interested because you didn't know what the hell was going to happen next. There's always the unexpected. And you get hooked into these characters emotionally because you would yell at the TV and say, why the hell did you do that? Or why did you choose him? Why did you choose her? It glues you.
It's true.
So last season of The Bachelor was Pilot Pete. And then he ended up, his first choice said no. Broke up with his second choice, I think.
What did happen? Oh, no. He ended up with his choice, and then Hannah Ann.
Yes.
And then at some point, they broke up, and then there was the after the final rose thing with Maddie, and it was, or Madison, Maddie. Right. And it was a whole mess. Right. Yeah.
And then later, Pilot Pete stole my girl. Kelly Flanagan, who was my top choice, according to my my Bachelor bracket, she was going to be my top 4. And he went to her. And that's not even fair because Kelly lives in Chicago, and so do I. That should be my choice, right?
I personally think Kelly's overrated. I think she probably got a bad edit on the show. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But I also think she's kind of smug and really into herself, and that's just really not my vibe.
Right. I'm just tired of seeing their Snapchats, Instagram stories.
It's so annoying. We're always together, and I'm just stop.
Yeah.
So
so this season of The Bachelorette, as I mentioned, is supposed to be Claire, but there's rumors that Tayshia, who was a former contestant on a previous season, will be a second Bachelorette. I think what I've heard is that Claire finds her guy first, right away, and they need some more time or more footage so that let's get another Bachelorette in.
Yep. From what I've heard, Claire is only the Bachelorette for 12 production days, which I think in Bachelorette world equals 2 weeks. So right. I think Tayshia comes in the 3rd or 4th week because she ends up falling in love with this guy and whatever. But,
right.
I think it'll be interesting. I didn't watch the season that Claire was on, so I guess I'm not as super excited about Claire, but I really do like Tayshia, and I think that she will be a good Bachelor.
Yeah, I like her too. I started to get more hooked onto her when I watched her in Bachelor in Paradise.
Yes.
With her love thing with John Paul Jones.
Yes.
JPJ. But yeah, she seemed pretty cool. I mean, she didn't really cause a lot of drama on both the shows she was on.
Yeah, she's smart. I think she'll be good. I like Claire too from what I've seen of her. I just don't really know her background of the Bachelor.
Do you remember when they were advertising we need contestants for Claire's season, looking for older people?
Yes, because Claire I think is 39, and so going back to Peter's season, that was my beef. Is I liked Peter as a person, but I feel like his season was kind of a mess. Because there were all these girls that were 21, 22, and it was just kind of I feel like it lacked maturity.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree. Those girls last season pissed me off.
Yeah.
Especially what's her face, Victoria.
Yeah.
She was manipulative.
Yes.
And she make you feel bad for her, especially Peter. So he would pretty much choose her on next rose ceremonies.
Yeah.
So COVID is a huge thing going on, and I know ABC is going to exploit the shit out of this Bachelorette season. How do you think the whole structure is going to be of the show?
I think it'll be really different only because they're not traveling. So I feel like all the hype behind like the destinations and all the dates are going to be like, there's not going to be as much hype.
Right.
Because I think The Bachelorette is being shot at just one resort in LA or maybe just California. I can't remember where it's at.
Yeah.
And I think it's just going to like lack some of that like depth because of the
right. No one's going to go to like Cabo or Europe or anywhere. It's just going to be one place.
I also think traveling is like a prize for the people who like stay on longer. You know, like the cooler places come later in the season. So I feel like the people who like stick around aren't going to get that kind of like
right.
Hype,
so like I mentioned you, like I started watching The Bachelor and Bachelorette because I was in the dorms with you guys, and as you can describe it was just all girls watching The Bachelorette. And I, at the time, it was like maybe 2014, 2015, I was kind of like one of the only guys within my circle of friends, like my guy friends, that watch it. Like, what the hell are you watching this shit for, AJ? And then as I get a little older, and then I meet coworkers, and they're like, yeah, I watch it with my girlfriend too. Me too. And they're like, oh yeah, I watch it with my friends too. Why do you think like it's probably becoming, I don't know, more acceptable for guys to watch it? Or what do you think?
I think part of it is social media, honestly, because I think like the show has really gotten to this point where like everyone has a social media presence off screen. And I think Twitter, like watching The Bachelor, Bachelorette while looking at Twitter is like one of my favorite things. So I feel like it's almost like become more acceptable for like more people to watch it. If you're on social media, like you see these people, you see the tweets, like you want to see what it's all about. And I also think the show has just gotten a little bigger too. I think with our age group, I think it's gotten a lot more popular.
Right.
Since we started watching it.
Right.
And so I think that's probably part of it.
Yeah, I think a lot of it.
Can I chime in here?
Oh, go ahead, buddy.
Here's my hot take.
Go ahead.
Here's my hot take. So I think originally The Bachelor and The Bachelorette were sort of more about falling in love. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Like, at least the show is more portrayed as the process of falling in love and like being this romantic thing.
Yeah.
And in general, that's not what guys are interested in. But I feel like it's sort of avalanched into this like hot mess of drama and ridiculousness.
Yeah.
That's just,
that's very true.
It's true.
Objectively entertaining.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I think a lot of reasons why it's catching more of a larger audience in general is my thought of The Bachelor and Bachelorette is it kind of targeted towards conservative white women.
Yeah.
And it's getting a little more open with their contestants, especially with Rachel Lindsay, who was the first black Bachelorette. Mm-hmm. And I think they just kind of build more off of that and find ways to incorporate. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up getting like a bi Bachelor or Bachelorette, and they get like male and female contestants. I'm so curious what the dynamic's going to be.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be like wild.